Hi, this is Sorell from Expiring Immigration, coming to you today talking about AINP, the Alberta Immigration Nominee Program. There's a lot of questions that I get about it, and one particular one that's the most common question that I do get is from someone that has a postgraduate work permit, right? But it's going to be expiring pretty soon, maybe within the next 7-8 months, or even less than that, and the person wants to apply for their AINP, and their question is usually, how do I maintain my status after I apply to the AINP? Because my work permit expires pretty soon. It's a very good question, and I'm going to show you some resources on the Government of Alberta website. Alright, so there's a specific topic right here about exactly that question, extending your work permit. Now, very important to note here, an AINP nomination is not an automatic work permit renewal. Alright, it is very important to not let your work permit expire. You have to continue to maintain your work permit somehow. And there's going to be a few different methods, different options I'm going to give you. But we all know that the AINP process can be very long and time consuming. Usually it takes around 1 year to get that nomination certificate. And then you submit that. And it takes another 1 year to actually get your federal approval. Right? So by the time you become a PR, it's going to be over 2 years. Right? And not many people have 2 years left on their work permit. Okay, so what are the options in this case? So as we see here, all nominees must apply to IRCC for a work permit renewal if their current work permit will expire before their PR application is finalized. So this is going to be a lot of different people are going to fall under this category, because most people will have a work permit that's shorter than that processing time for AINP and the federal processing time. All right, so they list 4 options here. Starting with option 1, renew your work permit with a new LMIA from an Alberta employer. All right, so everyone knows this option. Get an LMIA and you can have a new work permit, usually 1 or 2 years longer. But the problem with this is LMIAs are hard to come by, especially from maybe your specific employer, right? From your Alberta employer. It has to be the same person giving you the job offer as the one you used to file your AINP. And not only that, they are a headache and can be time consuming as well in terms of the paperwork and everything. So not every employer will be ready for it. All right, if you do get an LMIA, if you're lucky enough to get one, then you can use that to apply for a work permit renewal. All right, option 2, renew it based on LMIA exemptions as determined by IRCC. All right, so if I go here, typically most people would not really fall under this category. LMI exempt is usually for, the Francophone category. If you speak French, you are in luck. If you speak French and you have a skilled occupation, then you're in luck, is what I mean, for an LMI exempt. Clicking this link, it takes us to this type of work permit. All right, so everyone is different. You can try to fill this out, see where you end up, but I'm not going to do that right now because there's so many different options. But like I said, usually LMI exemption is for Francophone categories and international mobility categories. Option 3, a bridging open work permit. All right, this one is an option that a lot of people do consider and do go forward with, but there's one thing you have to consider. This is for someone that's deep into the process already, right? They have their AINP nomination. They've applied for permanent residence to the federal government, so they have a file number. They have an acknowledgement of receipt. Right, if they have that, then they can apply for a bridging work permit. On their website, it will say it's meant for people that already have, are accepted. I forgot the exact wording, but let's just see if this loads. Approved in principle, I believe what it says. Right, be approved in principle for PR. Right, so that means they're kind of deep into the process. Now, what does that mean? If we click here, it takes us to the glossary link, right? So the approved in principle. Right, you receive a letter stating that you meet the PR eligibility requirements, and you still have to pass the other checks though. All right, such as medical and stuff. So that's what approved in principle means. All right, if you have that, if you have your application number from IRCC, their confirmation, acknowledgement of receipt, then you can go for this option. Now, If you're one of the unlucky few that cannot do option 1, 2, or 3, there is a fourth option here. And even here it says only recommended if option 1, 2, and 3 are not available. A letter of support. Alright, so what you need to do is apply for a letter of support from the AINP, and that will allow you to apply for an LMIA exempt work permit with the federal government. Alright, if you can do that, like I said, it's a last resort, but it's definitely an option for you if nothing else can work out. There's a lot of information here, but we can definitely help you out with that. Hopefully you found this video useful and helpful. And again, my name is Sorell from expresslaneimmigration.ca. We're based in Edmonton, Alberta, but we can help you with any type of application across Canada and for people that are outside of Canada as well. Thank you and have a good day.